growing up, I think a lot of us respected the wrong people.
Yeah.
Okay, because you mentioned just being an elder should command respect. I think to a certain extent it should, but I don't think it's automatic.
No.
I think respect should be, I don't think it's a given respect. I think you need to earn it.
Yeah,
but I think what we respected in our community growing up for a lot of us was we saw cars as young guys. The main thing was cars.
Yep.
And when usually the guys who had the cars that we saw and looked up to were the dodgy people.
Yeah.
Okay. And even with growing up now, we have social media, which wasn't around then, and we have this false idea, I think, of what reality is. And I ask, is it high time? I hate using the word normal because I don't think anything is normal. Normal is specific to an individual. What's normal for Wes is not normal for you. But do we need to normalize a 9 to 5? Because it seems that people don't want, the younger generation now don't seem to want to have an honest living. And when I say honest living, I mean a 9 to 5, which is deemed as average. So the average salary in the UK, depending on where you are, is roughly around 30 grand. Okay, depending on whether you're in Newcastle, whether it's roughly around 30k. Plus minus tax is about £2,400, £2,500 a month. Now, this is what the average person is earning. Okay. They say 10% of the UK is on 50k. They say 5% is on 80k and 1% is on 120k up. Okay, so 10% are earning 50k, which is about 3,600 to 3,700 a month. Do we need to normalize 9 to 5s, or should we say that we shouldn't normalize being normal? Because these kids, what they're trying to aspire and get, I don't think it's realistic, in my opinion. But someone could say to me, "Oh, don't undermine them or don't put them in a box to make them think they can't attain." But I think, how do you have a conversation to sell someone young that not everyone's going to make it? Like, it's a reality of it. Some of you will have to, because we always say work in Tesco's, we always say work in McDonald's, we say work in JD Sports like it's a bad thing. And I don't know how. And when we say those things, you'll end up in McDonald's. Okay, cool.
You know what's crazy? Don't you feel like the music has changed the goalpost, where it's moved it a lot higher? Where I'll give you an example. How old is like Central C and all these rappers?
They're young. They're like 20, 21. They're all kids.
They're your age. Where them lot are wearing Richard Milles and all these expensive watches. Where when we were that age, no one had a rollie.
The money's different now.
Not one man had a rollie. So like even between the whole crew, we probably couldn't even raise up the funds for one rollie.
If you're looking for an event space with a wow factor, then Venue 254 is the perfect fit for you. Whether you're putting together a birthday celebration, a bridal shower, a conference, or a live event, this space is guaranteed to wow your guests. With details and finishes done to high standards, you don't need to do much to make the space feel beautiful. This venue also comes fully equipped with a sound system and aircon to make sure you and your guests have the best experience. It has the capacity for up to 200 people standing and 70 when seated. It's located in East London, and yes, there is parking available nearby. So if you want to make your next event memorable and stress-free, then contact Venue 254 to book.
Normalize the experience of people in your communities. Like, for example, I can only speak from my example, whereby I'm on TV a lot only because of what I do in the community, which is helping people. Like, I'm not a footballer, I'm not, like, I've coached Jaden, I've coached those guys, but I've done things the hard way, but also done it the right way, especially in the last 10 years of my life. By sharing that story and normalizing that story, I think is important, because what we are doing is very idealistic. When young people look at, right, what is making it? It's having those watches, having these different things, having, you know, this car, having this house, but how do you get there? And we've got this microwave culture with young people, because we're not connecting the dots for them. They're thinking, all right, one day I'm just going to pick up a mic and I'm going to spit some bars and I'm going to be on TV. It's not like that. And one thing you said for me is the honesty. Like, if I go to a kid and be like, oh, I'm going to play professional football. Okay, that's decent. So how many times are you training a week? Once a week. It's not enough. What do you mean it's not enough? Well, I know my son's training 4 or 5 times a week. I know when Jaden was young, he's doing this 6, 7 times a week. So why are you not doing the same? Like, and you've got to be honest with young people. I think we're doing young people a disservice by not being real. And it's not shooting down their dreams, it's reinforcing that dream and saying, look, this is what you need to do. This is the day in the life to get here.
But everyone can't be a boss. No. And I think we need to just accept that. I know it sounds bad, but we need to accept that some people are going to be average. And I think that conversation, even as adults, needs to be had, because I remember one time I put a poll asking people how much do they need a month, a year, sorry, to survive and live. Some people were telling me 80, 90 bags. I said,
You're surviving already.
now.
what do you need to do with that? And someone came back to me and said, oh, but I'm pretty sure you earn more than that. And that's neither here nor there. But what do you, like, what are we trying to aspire to? Because on 30K salary, there's 2.5K left. Maybe your flat is maybe 1,200, £1,300. Plus minus all your bills might bring it up to say 1,800, 1,900. Let's just say £2,000 is spent on you just getting by and your food and everything. So you've got £500 left. How do you have this conversation, especially even as a parent? Like, I remember when my mum was droning in my head to go to uni, because she went to uni. And I remember looking at her like, so you went to uni and I can see how your life is right now.
And that's what people see.
And you remember, that's what kids are looking at. You're looking at you working jobs. You work hard, you will get this. And you remember, you're looking like, mum.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I need a pair of trainers, I can't get it. Every time there's a school trip, there's problems. But you're telling me I should now go and do this university that you have done, and clearly it's not working for you. How does even that conversation happen? Because I think your son looks up to you. You can see his dad, you know, doing the mentivity, doing the mentoring. You can see you on TV. So he's got a figure in front of him as a role model. And I think a lot of the times it's self-belonging that we want. We want to be in, we just want to be, we want to be accepted. Like you join this group or this fraternity because you want to be accepted. You know, like for instance, in the circle you're in now, I'm assuming that some of the friends you were friends with when you were younger, some of them you don't talk to, and there's probably some that you're friends with because you have something in common. And I think I think we've done a disservice for men in the sense that there's this idea that women can do it on their own. And often we keep, I don't want to penalize any woman because I say that if you haven't gone to court as a man to see your child, don't talk about a woman stopping you seeing your kid. That's my opinion, because if someone owes you £10,000 and you can go to court to get it, you'll get it. Which means if someone says they're not letting you see your child and you have not gone to court, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think we've done a disservice saying that almost like men are not needed, that I can do it on my own. And I think it's a detrimental thing that we've got now where I don't know how to explain it without sounding like I'm being a villain.
No,
but it's
not.
like
I know what you mean.
like in every facet you can see that young boys want men. It's very rare you see a young man hanging around older women. It's the man he wants. And I don't understand, I can't explain it, but and not every dad who's present is a good role model. So I don't want to just use the fact that just have a man there. No. It's someone who you can see as a role model. And I say with your 15-year-old son, and all the other kids that you're mentoring, what is the difference you're seeing? And would you say that that father figure is a common denominator in these young boys? Or would you say that it's not? And I remember it's just your experience, so we can't talk, because I don't think he's talking for everybody, but just from what you've seen.
Listen, I've worked with over 10,000 children, you know, in my life, and the impact that I made, and I don't even actually realize the impact that I made, let's be honest, because I get kids and there are men hitting me up on Insta like, you came here and you spoke at my school 6 years ago and I never forgot. Now I'm at university, now I'm doing this. So it doesn't mean it has to be prolonged mentoring. It could be just one interaction and you inspire them. What I see in my community is that lack of positive male kind of engagement and role models, but also what is a man? What is the definition of a man in our community? Is it someone that's out there hustling, making money, doing those different things? Is it someone that stays at home, looks after the children while the lady goes out because she can earn more? What is the definition of a man? Is a man, is there power in being vulnerable as a man and showing your emotions? Yes or no? In our community, no. But now we're talking about therapy now and embracing mental health. We're seeing that now, whereby with my son, I will show him that I'm vulnerable. I never used to see my parents in a vulnerable way. I never saw my dad in a vulnerable way. He just didn't do certain things and I didn't understand it. And I'm like, Dad, why are you not doing what you're doing? Now I understand. He was going through his own stuff. You know what I mean? He was going through a lot of things that he couldn't deal with. And now I understand why he couldn't do certain things for me. So I'm no longer mad at him. I have a good relationship with him now. But it's about us now defining what is a man, you know, in our communities. What does that consist of? Because young men think that by having money, automatically I'm a man. Being out there hustling, automatically I'm a man. Sleeping with 20 girls in a year, I'm a man now because of that. Those are all myths, and those are things that have contributed to where we're at now as men in our communities. I said to you guys, in my 30s, I still feel like I was a boy. I feel like a man now. Because I feel empowered, educated, I put a lot of effort into myself. A lot of people don't feel that way because we haven't given that time, invested that time in ourselves. And I say to young people a lot, invest time in yourself and you will be paid. And they're like, yeah, money. I'm like, nah, success. Because success is more addictive than getting paid. success will bring the money. You know, and that's the thing, is by sharing our experiences and even having this conversation here, there's things I didn't know about him, you know, for I know him so long. We've got to have these conversations in safe spaces where we can say, look, this is how I feel, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm at, how can I help? We don't like to ask for help.